Hello, everybody. Good morning. We are going to do two things today. Review my March budget, see how things went for March. It's not pretty, I'm telling you right now. Then we're going to touch on the April budget as well, since I did not have my shit together and film that before I left for vacation. So I apologize, but we'll run through that real quick. I got some exciting rental property updates as well as some moving updates. I've got an interview call in about a half hour, so I'm gonna do that as well. And then after that, it is time to get the cardboard boxes out, get them set up, and start packing to move. So that'll be coming up next. However, today, let's just talk budgeting because things have been a little up in the air. Currently unemployed, currently moving out of here, probably moving back home with my parents. I'm just trying to keep somewhat of a budget together. So it's been a little nutty, but let's just jump in and see how things went for March. Google Sheets for the spreadsheet nerds. March, starting at the top with income. W-2 income, not a thing right now, so no surprise there, $0. Unemployment, I put a goal of $1,438. It's because, if you guys recall, in February, I was told a couple times it was just gonna subtract dollar for dollar any of my YouTube income. So the overall unemployment payout I got in February was $1,438. So I just was like, you know what? I'll just use that number because my actual income from unemployment in March was $1,708. So I got the full amount, which is $427 a week, which is my state maximum because I elected to not take my YouTube payout in March. I'm just saving it. And now, rental property. There's been repairs. My last tenant moved out at the end of January. It was not rented for March. The repairs have been done. I was not told that they were done or that the tenant moved in. I only found out because I got an email that my electricity was turned off because, of course, when there's not a tenant in there, it reverts back to the property owner's name. So the electric and the gas were in my name while there was no tenants in there. But that was the only, the property management team didn't let me know he moved in, didn't let me know the contract work was done so that he could move in. So it's just kind of annoying, but the continued theme of the rental property management team, as you guys know, I've not had the best experience with them, which is a whole different topic. But the new tenant was in there for March 1st, so I did get his security deposit and his full month of rent, which part of the agreement with the property management team is my real estate rental broker gets 1 month's rent commission if they find a tenant that does a 17-month or less lease, which this tenant opted for a 12-month lease, so I have to pay $1,000 in commission to the rental broker. But that means that the new rental rate for my property is $1,000 a month, which changes my monthly cash flow basically. But for March, I didn't know if anyone was going to be moved in or if they would find a tenant or whatnot. So I just put it at $0 goal. The tenant moved in March 28th, so he paid 3 days of prorated rent, and then I've now gotten the full rent for April, and his security deposit was $1,000 and his April rent was $1,000. So $1,000 of that went to the rental broker and I got the other $1,000. So I'm keeping that $1,000 in the property's savings account because I do have to return that $1,000 to the tenant when they move out. So it's a net loss at the moment. Not a net loss, but it's a net zero at the moment. YouTube, I knew it was going to be $300. Yeah, right around that. And it was $399.92. Again, I'm holding this money with YouTube. I didn't actually get it paid out yet. It's a beautiful amount. That's crazy. I'm so excited. It continues to kind of grow month over month. So thank you guys for being here. Next up is support from you guys. I have zero expectation here, but you guys are Wonderful. So this is direct support from Venmo or PayPal. I don't include YouTube Super Thanks here because that's lumped into the YouTube Pay. But for support in March, you guys graciously gifted me with $280.99. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much. Certainly that's incredibly helpful since we all know unemployment doesn't cover the bills. And now I have added this additional line for my high yield savings account interest, like some of you have suggested and I should have done before. But now that I'm unemployed, I'm not just letting my high yield savings account continue to grow. I am actually just taking the monthly accrued interest and putting it into my checking account to live off of in the interim. So in March, the account gained $134.22, which is great. So I use SoFi. They have a 4.6 APY right now. But anyway, a total income, $2,423. Amazing. Now we'll pop down to the expenses. Rent, $1,555. That's what it was. Health insurance, I thought I was going to have to pay that every month, but apparently paid it all up front, so that was $0. I paid to keep my employer-sponsored health benefits during that 90-day furlough, so that's why I have not had to start paying that out of pocket yet, but that does change now for April. Since April 18th, I'll be out of that 90-day furlough, and health insurance is on me after that, so not quite time to start sweating, but I'm sweating over that. And then electricity, I budgeted $60. That was, if you guys remember, the grow light that I had over the windowsill veggies died, and I put up a different grow light bulb that I had from prior apartments. It like way jacked up the electric bill, so clearly it runs on a higher wattage, and once I saw the electric bill, I was like, oh, never mind. So they no longer have a grow light, but that electric bill is ridiculous. Internet's always $65. Mohila, student loans, federal student loans, not paying those while we're unemployed. Gym, $15 a month. That's, yep. Netflix is $22.99. And thank you, Elizabeth. She did send me $22.99 through, I think it was Venmo. She graciously paid for my Netflix for the month of March. So thank you, Elizabeth. And now food and household. Y'all, budgeted $150. I can't in my right mind think of why that number makes sense or what I was thinking there. Is that a tight? I'll have to go back and look at my March budget video because what was I doing before? 500? That's because in February my crazy ass only spent 113. Right. No. Yeah. What? 627. I wish I could tell you what happened, but I can't. Some of that was, of course, eating out when I was on vacation for my birthday. I didn't want my friends to pay for me the entire 6 days. That would have been really shitty. So I did get some of the groceries. I got lunch for Jana and I while we were at the spa. Other bits and bobs, like I got our coffee and breakfast one morning. Before I left, I ordered a small pizza and a salad, and I got it delivered. This is why I don't do delivery. It was $50 freaking dollars for a small pizza and a small salad. The place is like 2 miles up the road, but that's takeout and delivery nowadays, and that's why I don't do it, because a pizza crust is like $2. Also, I'm an emotional eater, right? Unemployment's been hard on me. Moving's been hard on me. The job application, job market, job hunt process has been emotionally draining. Moving home with my parents is hugely emotionally a lot to think about and process. So, been hitting the not great food pretty heavy. Feel like shit. Let's move on. Gas and car wash. I budgeted $50. However, I spent $160.14. I had that interview that was 3 hours away each way. That was a full tank of gas. I went up to Maine. That was a full tank of gas. It's been a lot. Pet supplies, budgeted $50, but I spent $0. That's because I had a big order last month, and that's just kind of how it works. Investing, I've not been doing while I'm unemployed, of course. donating. I've not been doing, but my nephew had a GoFundMe for his robotics team to compete in their nationals. So I donated them $50. Savings? No. Spending? I don't know why I put zero, whatever. $145, not terrible. I got a gift for my friend. I got a card for her and her mom for letting me stay with them. My friend and her boyfriend, while I was on vacation and things like that. Other budgeted $400 for my car registration because March is that annual month for me, in March, April. I didn't even end up registering my car. I spent $2,398, so about $2,000 more than I had budgeted, and that's just because my tax prep alone cost me $1,944, which is a lot. Yes, my taxes are kind of complicated, so I kind of want well-renowned CPA for that kind of thing with YouTube income, rental property income, things I don't trust myself to handle on my own with TurboTax. However, if you know a cheaper CPA for next year that does the same kind of thing, let me know. That's so much money. So much money. And my refund is $500. So it's that's okay. I want it done right. And also I paid, it was my annual Canva, which is the tool I use to do my thumbnails and shit. That annual expense came out. So I did pull from annual sinking funds for this money because I save up for these knowing that they're coming every single year, so I'm prepared and ready. So really that $2,400 was just pulled from sinking funds, and we'll cover that in just a minute, but they were expenses, so I did want to capture them. And then down at the bottom is just my student loans, the amount I owe, the current amount that I have saved in my student loan savings, my SoFi high yield savings account. This is the amount that $134 in interest comes from, and normally that goes here in my added to, because I am trying to grow that amount because I have unicorn dreams of paying off my student loans one day, but anyway, that's why that's zero. So that's where that $134 came from. But that's it on the March expenses. We are going to pop over to the annual sheet now, just so we can take a big look at the big picture of what's going on and how my net worth and all that kind of stuff did overall. So here's the snapshot of my year overview spreadsheet. As you can see at the top, we got incomes. These are orange because this is unemployment income and not exactly W-2 income, but just where I'm tracking my incomies. And then real estate, so this would be the rental income minus the mortgage. March, obviously, we're in the negative, but April, that'll be very different. But down here is really what we care about, which is the assets. And these are the values of my assets on the very last day of the month. So the highlighted column would be what these amounts were March 31st. Overall, doing pretty good. As you can see, the biggest difference here is the drop in my sinking funds. It's three $2,000 sinking funds, one of which was for my annual expenses, so essentially all of my tax prep, and then some for the car inspection things. So from my car vet and medical sinking fund. Real estate. Did I update that one? I think so. And my rental property just grows the value of that. It's just the most recent appraised value, which was its 2020 appraisal, or very early 2021, minus the current balance that I owe still on the mortgage. So the tenant pays off about $50 of that per month, or me, I guess, for March. But overall, in my net worth, I still had a pretty good increase, and that's mostly because the stock market was doing pretty good. So my 401k saw a good jump in March. My Roth a couple $100. FundRise went up a little bit, which is just crowdfunded real estate investing if you've not heard of it. Crypto, I don't know what's going on with crypto, but that jumped up pretty good. I don't really care or pay much attention to that, but it's there. So despite being on unemployment and kind of going backwards in my expenses, I'm doing okay. Still a positive net worth, which was like a very big deal last year because never in my life with my student loan balances did I ever think I would have a positive net worth, but it happened. And that was like 5 solid years of complete and utter dedication to work and financial betterment at a very soul-sucking job. But here we are. If we can go from that to unemployment without completely tanking my net worth, then I'm happy. Just real quickly, I want to show you guys the difference in my monthly cash flow now that my rental property has a new tenant at a different rental rate. Previous tenant was paying $734 a month. The property management team was keeping $66.06 because that is a 9% fee of the total rent. And my mortgage is $257.69. So my monthly cash flow, that's not pure cash flow, it's supposed to be setting aside about 5 to 20% of your monthly cash flow for vacancy, maintenance and repairs, things like that. But I've been saving every penny just because I have not needed to live off my rental income. So the thought was to just be keeping all of the rental income and slowly building up until I have a down payment for my next property. I don't know what's going to happen with real estate and my real estate budget just because the market has been unattainable, we'll call it that. But still saving the rental income, doesn't matter. Now, with this new tenant, they are paying $1,000 a month, and it was a pretty big jump because the previous tenant was in there for 2 years. As you guys know, rental rates have increased as well, just like home prices. Since the rent is higher, the 9% fee is higher, so now the property management team will be keeping $99, and my mortgage is still the same. And so now my cash flow will be $643.31 a month. So a $233.06 per month increase in monthly cash flow. So now let's go through the April budget real quick. So W-2 income, right, $0 goal. Unemployment, 1708 is my goal. Hopefully I get the full amount. Rental property, $643.31. We just went through that calculation, so that's the new amount. Yay! YouTube, $100 payout threshold is all we're hoping for here. Support, zero expectation. High yield savings account interest, it should gain about $130. $2,581 income goal. Now for expenses, rent is $1,555. This is the last month. I already paid that. Of course, we're into April now, but this is my last month here. Health insurance is, I think, $0, but April 18th is like my 90-day furlough date, which I think is when my health insurance will drop dead. So I definitely need to figure that. I need to put that on the list of shit to figure out in the next couple weeks. Electricity, hopefully it'll be around 60 again. Internet should be 65. Mohila will still be 0. I'm guessing we're still going to be unemployed. Gym, I just paid for that March 22nd, so that'll take me up until April 22nd. Yeah, I'm going to be moving, so I'm not even going to be finding a new gym until sometime in May. Netflix is $22.99. Food and household, I did bring that back down to reality. Is that reality though? $150, that's wild. What am I thinking? Doesn't matter, it's a goal. Gas and car wash, $50. That might be really low. It's $50 for pet supplies. Sounds about right. I don't plan to invest, donate, or save any money. Just, again, unemployment. Spending, we'll see. Other, $400 because, like I mentioned, do still have to register my car. That's really it. It looks pretty well exactly the same as every other month. And April will be my last month that the budget looks like this. And then it will be Lord knows what, because I don't know what's going on with the job situation or the living situation. But for right now, the plan is to just move back up to Maine into my parents' house and just hunker down for a minute while I figure out what's next, because I'm trying to be very careful about my mental health. So I'm just letting myself go through the motions when it comes to the emotions of unemployment and moving and uncertainty about my future. Like, it's very overwhelming that all of these things are happening at once. Probably just because I've never been unemployed before. This is very weird for me. I feel not okay about it, but I'm feeling massively better about it than it was when it first happened. And that is largely because of you guys and so many of you and your comforting and encouraging and supportive comments, and all of you saying, you know what, you are not alone in this situation, because despite what the news and the unemployment rates are saying and how great the economy is looking right now, what we're actually feeling, us everyday normal people, not on the news, is that all of that is bullshit. It's just a really weird time. But I do very much look forward to the day when I'm working again, I'm in a new apartment, we're settled, and I know what my bills are going to be, so I can get back into setting myself up with a solid budget and a game plan, because I don't love this like swimming in the uncertainty kind of feeling, especially when it comes to money, because you guys know I've worked so damn hard to get myself to the financial comfort situation that I'm in. Not the unemployment, that's very uncomfortable, but as far as a very strong emergency fund and knowing myself really well and my spending habits, like I know kind of where I'm at with spending month over month, and I know what things I can easily cut back on when I need to cut the fat, and what things are kind of more of a luxury for me. So it's very nice to be several years deep into budgeting and being very in tune with my finances. Awareness. It's just awareness of what's going on with your bank accounts, right? Things are chaotic right now and all over the place, myself and very much myself included. I don't want to always just talk about money and finances, but I do miss talking about it, and like the helpful things that are working for me and the things that are not, and all of the things that the craziness of current life situations are kind of clouding right now. So thank you guys for sticking with me. And we're going to start pricing some movers, because I am scared. I've been scared to look at the movers pricing prices associated with moving, because it scares the shit out of me right now with inflation and the prices you guys have been telling me you've been paying to move lately. We're gonna look at it. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye.